announcement today and glad you're all here. My name's Mike Ezekiel. I'm the Assistant Athletic Director for Communications here at the University of North Alabama. Without further ado, I'd like to turn the podium over, or the stage, to Dr. Josh Looney, our Athletic Director.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. And our media team, great job. It's an awesome setup and just excited to celebrate a great day. This is another milestone for UNA Athletics in our rise in the Division I level as we announce the addition of 5 new sports to our offering with women's flag football and then men's and women's indoor and outdoor track and field. And with that, really, we have 4 things that we're able to do. Number one, open up additional access for opportunity, especially to female athletes, driving new revenue streams as we continue to navigate the next phase of college athletics, further utilize existing facilities that are new at both Cox Creek Sports Complex and Bank Independent Stadium that's coming online that allow us to expand our offerings. And then, of course, drive on-campus engagement that makes UNA so special. And so this announcement is really a celebration of momentum. It's something that we've been studying and looking at for several years now. And frankly, we haven't had the facilities to do something like this. But thanks to people who have driven the investment at UNA and gracious support, we've been able now to activate here. And just to show you how long we've been eyeing this, back in, gosh, Dr. Lai, was it 22 or 23? 2022 or 23. We sent you to Atlanta to 2023. So 2 years ago, we sent Dr. Janae Lyde of our staff to Atlanta to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And she was there to engage with NFL flag and also evaluate the NAIA championships. And with that, we ended up having feasibility studies and opportunities to monitor that sport's growth. And it is growing exponentially. So with the addition of women's flag football, as it comes to a sport, it is having exponential growth in our region. Now, if you look at where we're at from the high school level, over 130 high schools in the state of Alabama sponsor the sport. It was added to the Super 7 state championships. Every neighboring state to Alabama sponsors women's flag football. It's growing in our community, which we'll get to in just a second. And we're excited to lead and be part of that. We'll be just the 6th Division I school to activate women's flag football. We'll join Alabama State in-state and UT Arlington that's in the UAC. We expect as the 2028 Olympic Games continue to come to fruition and additional adds in the NCAA level, we expect that number to grow very rapidly, very quickly. And to be on the front end of that was important for us to be a leader with UNA in that space. A big thanks goes to our staff that really worked hard on this feasibility, from Anna Milwee, Megan Dye, Sherry Kinnemer, Ben Ray, Dr. Lyde, Mike Nelson, Debbie Williams. So many people went through of how can we make this work and advance UNA in that growth. On the cross-country side, we have had a successful cross-country program, defending individual champion. And for years, really, at least in the years that I've been here, the question is, how can we grow that program? How can we continue to invest in our distance athletes? And when you didn't have a track, it is tough to do that. And thanks to a generous donation that we received at the Cox Creek Sports Complex, we were able to install the Hewlett and Jacqueline Gregory track at Cox Creek Sports Complex just this past April, which has opened the door for us to take a phased approach to growing our cross-country program in a distance-based track and field program that we think will absolutely elevate our cross-country programs immediately and will grow the sport over time at UNA. And you look at Cox Creek and the full track and field offerings, that's a space that has ample room to grow into field events in the future and really bring on a full-on track and field program. So with that, I want to introduce Coach Connor Callahan. He will be overseeing the implementation of expanding from cross-country to a distance-based track program and then a full track and field program. Before we turn over to Coach, though, I just want to thank our Board of Trustees, President Kitts, our community for investing us and allowing us to create these opportunities that will not only enhance UNA but help grow and raise our roar at the Division I level. So, Coach Callahan, we'll turn it to you.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone for being here today. And obviously, the big thanks goes to Dr. Lyde and Dr. Looney. This was a conversation we had early on, and it was one that when these two talk, they don't just talk to talk. They talk because they mean what they mean, and they got plans in place. And to add track and field, it's huge for our university, and it's huge for the students that we have here and for the recruiting. It's one that Dr. Looney talks about, Cox Creek, and we have a beautiful track over there. We've been on it multiple times already this year. We have a place that we can go. We never have to worry about anything. So it's nice to have that. But you talk about adding track and adding sports. Our sport is one that has been taken away from some universities. So it, again, shows the growth that we're having here at UNA as a university, as an athletic department. It shows that we are here to stay, and we are here to, make some noise. So it's one, the recruiting process, it opens up a lot. We've got the chance to bring in a lot more athletes. We've got more roster spots available now. There's a lot that is to be said about bringing in this track and field program. I'm thrilled. I'm excited. It's one of those to have the trust from Dr. Lyde and Dr. Looney to kind of go on with this. And I got to tell the team yesterday, and they were thrilled. It's one of those that maybe some videos came out and they got the hint that something was coming. But when I told them, it was a lot of yes, a lot of excitement, a lot of, joy, because some of the athletes have been here for 4 years. And I've got Coach Noah Bonzel with me. He's, a GA for me, but he was here for 4 years prior, and I think kind of heard like, oh, track might be coming, and it's officially here, and it is here. It's not a talk. It is here, and our group cannot wait till next year. I told him we got to stay focused on cross country right now. Season's not over. But again, I can't thank you all enough for being here today. Thank you, Dr. Looney, and we're excited for what's to come.
Thanks, Coach Callahan. We're excited to have Connor lead us and grow these programs. To my left and your right is a young leader in this community in flag football, and I think we wanted to invite R.G. Campbell to share her story with our announcement, and I see we have Taylor Franks in the crowd as well. So in the Shoals community, where we have yet to see a high school sponsor that sport, you now have a Division I institution sponsoring flag football. You have Northwest Shoals Community College being the first in the area to sponsor in their inaugural season. They're actually playing at UNA at Cox Creek Sportsplex. And you have the inaugural youth program in the Shoals at the Florence Sportsplex. And R.G. Campbell is the one who brought that program to Randy Burns and the City of Florence Parks and Rec. So I want to give R.G. a chance to tell her story and what got you involved in flag football and how you're seeing it grow in the youth community.
Thank you, Dr. Looney, for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here today. Just a year ago, I was only imagining having a girls' football league. In April, I pitched the idea to a Shoals Spark idea competition for kids my age. Our school does it every year, and I really wanted to win it this year. Soon after, I partnered with Randy Burns at Florence Parks and Rec, and today we're in the middle of our very first season. I'm excited to see my dream grow, and I'm excited to see more colleges and more people looking at it. Like UNA, that just shows me that dreams can come true, and it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter how big or small you are, you can do anything. I'm just very happy. Thank you.
And I think in our community in the inaugural year, I believe over 150 young girls are playing right now. Does that sound about right-ish? Yep, over 100, which is incredible. I know that'll continue to grow with this sport as well. But with that, Mike, happy to take any questions.
Yeah, thank you again all for being here. Dr. Looney, Coach Callahan, and obviously RG, great job. At this time, we'll open it up to the media, and again, want to thank you all for being here. We have a lot of TV, newspaper stations with us today. I really appreciate you all. We'll start with Max Cohen, and we'll open up for questions.
Dr. Looney, when you looked at these 5 sports that you were hoping to add, what was it about those sports being the ones that you thought were the best for the athletic department?
Yep, I think the expansion of the cross-country program was our natural next step once we had a track. I think it immediately elevates cross-country as in the recruiting, as Coach Callahan and his predecessors would tell you. There are a lot of athletes that are interested in UNA, interested in running Division I, but would like to compete for championships in indoor and outdoor track and field, and we just haven't had that opportunity. We've been cross-country only. So with the donation we're able to receive and developing the land at Cox Creek with the track, it was a natural next step for us to take the approach to grow that program. And we think it'll have an immediate impact on cross, but over time, it ultimately will bring in a great amount of student athletes and develop into a full track and field program. On the women's flag football side, that one's really interesting because the NCAA voted to recommend it for an emerging sport in February, and that'll set to have its official vote in January, and it's expected to pass pretty significantly. And even in just the year and a half, 2 years since we sent a staff member to Atlanta, the amount of institutions that are sponsoring this sport in the Southeast, and institutions being high schools, youth leagues, and colleges, it's unbelievable growth. And so to be on the front end of that in a region that is football hungry, I think is an awesome opportunity for us. And we're also able to scout out a year of how to operate it with Northwest Shoals playing here on our campus. So that's been helpful as well. So being a first mover, and our hats off to Alabama State being the first in the state to do it. They announced it a year ago, so they were really standing on their own, and more have come, and I think that you'll see the total well surpass 40 Division I schools in the short term. I think a lot of it is beach volleyball. When that first started, how quickly would it grow, and it was into a unified national championship sport within a year. And so I would see an NCAA championship being hosted before the 2028 Olympics at this pace.
AJ, you got a question?
Obviously, for you, your role is going to change a lot. It's almost like you're doubling your role. How do you plan on kind of attacking this moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to open up roster spots. It's going to give us a chance to really grow the team. And, you get a little bit more depth. You get a little bit more at the top as well. So I told the team that the roster is going to be bigger, but you're never going to be a number here. I can tell you that's not how I fly. And you got to have relationships and those kind of things. So it's going to be one that assistants are going to, eventually be added, I would imagine. And that's conversations we've had. But I like the staff I got right now. And it's going to be one that we're going to continue to grow, and that's the foreseeable future. But it also opens up opportunities. So I've had a little bit of history on the indoor and outdoor side and all the events. So I'm really happy to stay with the distance focused, and we'll continue to grow like that.
Are you? Any other?
Yeah, I think really in four particular areas, Aria. The first is the facilities that have come online and be able to utilize those year-round, both here on campus and off campus. When you're looking at opportunity expansion, we're estimating more than 60 new student athletes will call UNA home here over the next year. More than 2/3 of those will be female student athletes. So that opportunity in the cross-country side and track and field and women's flag football is important. When you grow additional student athletes and that you grow on campus, that grows campus engagement. It also unlocks new revenue streams as we look at how college athletics is shifting. More than 95% of Division I schools sponsor women's track and field. We were in the 5% that don't. And part of that is you have a lot of athletes that are competing in the same sport 3 different times, and your units on sports sponsorship also tick up with how the NCAA distributes revenue as well. So allow us to also have immediate investment in those programs through additional opportunity.
Trevor?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. Right here on the front row, we're going to call her our interim head coach. So obviously, Connor will continue to grow the program and lead that. We will launch a national search for a full-time flag football coach. But in the interim, Anna Milwee, who comes from a football family, will be recruiting and going to events, and will really spend some of that passion this fall. Dr. Lyde will assist her as well. And it's interesting, just off of some of the news that hit yesterday, we've already had junior college recruits and some of the top players in the state have reached out. So Anna's making contacts with those prospects right now, and obviously we'll keep moving forward. I'll also add that this is the first year we've had an intramural flag football team here on campus, and more than 30 women at UNA signed up for the club sport. They actually had a scrimmage against Northwest Shoals earlier this month. So we're even seeing at the club level the growth here, and I think that the club sport and the varsity sport can work together to grow it even more powerful at UNA.
Any other questions for the media? All right. Well, this will conclude our Q&A. Again, want to thank all of our media for being here. Thank all of you for being here for this exciting announcement. Would like to say that everybody that's here sitting at this table will be available for one-on-ones to all of you, as well as Coach Anna Milwee. She will also be available for one-on-ones. So, again, thank you so much for being here. And
Let's give RG a round of applause. That
yes,
was fantastic.
thank
Well done. Just sit up there.
And I'll throw it to Dr. Looney to give a closing remark to kind of wrap up this press conference.
Yeah, just thank you for coming. We're exciting, and again, this is the continued growth and momentum at UNA, and we're excited to continue to write new chapters as we rise in Division I. Roar Lions.
Roar Lions.
Thank you all.
Good job. Thank you, Dr. They may want to talk to you.
Did you get out of school for this too?
Yeah, she knew. She had a couple contacts.